Hey everyone, and welcome back to One Game at a Time. You know what time it is. It's time for your gaming news fix, all under 10 minutes. I am joined by a gaming expert to break down the hottest topics of the week.
That's right. We've got a packed show, so let's get right into it.
All right, first up, we have some news for fans of a classic action-adventure.
Ōkami, oh yeah, Ōkami, the visually stunning game that achieved cult classic status despite its rough launch.
Yeah, that unique art style and gameplay really earned it a dedicated fan base over the years. And it seems like that dedication has paid off.
You said it, a sequel is finally in development.
Whoa, really?
Yep. And get this, the original director, Hideki Kamiya, and his team from Machine Head Works are back.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're back to helm this sequel, driven by all that fan love for the original Ōkami.
I love to see it. It's inspiring to see a dedicated fan base make something like this happen. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Ubisoft.
Oh, Ubisoft.
Their latest financial reports are, well, they aren't looking so good. Both revenue and net bookings are down compared to last year.
How far down are we talking?
Revenue is down by 31.4%, and net bookings took a 34.8% hit.
Oof, not good.
Not good at all.
And their back catalog sales, those usually reliable sales for big publishers?
Yeah.
Those are down too.
By how much?
27.7%.
So, yeah, not looking so good. All of this is putting a lot of pressure on their upcoming release, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh yeah, that's their big hope, to turn things around.
Yeah, especially since the pre-orders for Shadows are matching Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Wow. Which is the second most successful Assassin's Creed game.
Exactly.
But the question is, can even a big hit like a new Assassin's Creed save them?
That's a good question. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, from industry giants, let's shift our focus to a smaller studio, Starbreeze Studios.
The Payday people?
Yep, the developers behind the Payday franchise. And things are not looking too good for them either.
Really? What's going on over there?
Well, there have been rumors of layoffs and talks about their Paris office closing down.
Huh.
And to add to that,
Yeah.
almost all of the Starbreeze Paris employees participated in a one-day strike.
A strike? Why?
It seems to be a direct response to the layoffs, the difficult working conditions, and that potential shutdown of the Paris office.
Wow. So not good at all over at Starbreeze.
Yeah. And it gets worse. A message got leaked from a French Starbreeze employee.
What did it say?
It revealed plans to lay off another 23 employees, which is about 12% of their workforce.
Jeez.
And the only reason these layoffs are delayed is because of how strict French labor laws are.
Interesting.
This leaked message, it really shows how unhappy the employees are.
Yeah.
They feel like management is just focused on cutting costs, and they don't have a good plan for the future.
They feel like the higher-ups don't have any vision.
Exactly.
I wonder if they brought up any specifics.
Oh, they did. The employee pointed out that the French tech team was super important for the console release of Payday 3.
They were.
Yeah. They also helped to cut server costs significantly.
Huh.
But it seems like their achievements are being ignored by the people in charge.
So what happened next?
Well, a Q&A document got leaked. And it just shows how bad the relationship is between the developers and the management.
Yikes.
There's a lot of worry about the future of Payday. And nobody seems to trust the leadership.
Understandably so.
Starbreeze's interim CEO, Max Jewell, did say that any layoffs will be done legally, and he asked everyone to keep quiet about the whole thing. But people are anxiously waiting for their year-end report for 2024, hoping it will clear things up about the layoffs and the future of the French division. And now for our last piece of news. This one's a bit somber. The gaming world is mourning the loss of a true visionary. Viktor Antonov,
Oh no.
the artist behind Half-Life 2 and Dishonored, he passed away at the age of 52.
That's so sad to hear.
He had such a long and influential career.
He did. He worked on films and tons of games.
Yeah, starting with games like Kingpin and Red Dead Rampage.
Wow. So he's been around since the early days of gaming.
But it's his work on Half-Life 2 and Dishonored that really solidified his legacy. He created the iconic visuals of City 17 and Dunwall.
Yeah. Those were unforgettable.
Right. City 17 with that haunting beauty, a mix of different architectural styles and all that imposing alien technology.
It was truly unique.
And then you have Dunwall, that gritty industrial world, inspired by British cities from the 1800s.
A masterpiece of atmosphere.
The tributes from people all across the gaming industry just show how much of an impact he had.
Everyone's talking about his brilliance, his originality, and how much joy his creations brought to players.
Yeah, figures like Mark Laidlaw, Pete Hines, Rafael Colantonio, and Harvey Smith have all shared their condolences.
It's a testament to his talent and to the kind of person he was.
He really touched the lives of so many in the gaming community. And in that recent documentary celebrating Half-Life 2's 20th anniversary, Antonov talked about how his love for exploring cities as a kid influenced the game's opening sequence.
That's amazing. That personal touch really shines through in his work.
It's a true loss for the gaming world, but his artistic vision will continue to inspire game developers for years to come.
There's no doubt about that.
It's incredible how, in such a short amount of time, the gaming industry can experience such a roller coaster of emotions.
It really is, from exciting new releases to industry struggle, and now the sadness of losing such a talented individual.
It definitely keeps things interesting, right?
You can say that again?
Today we've talked about the exciting news of its Ōkami sequel, the tough challenges facing both Ubisoft and Starbreeze Studios, and of course we paid our respects to the incredible Viktor Antonov.
It's been a whirlwind of news.
It has.
But it's a reminder that the world of gaming is constantly evolving. New chapters are being written all the time.
That's a great way to put it. The gaming world never stands still.
Never.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this episode of One Game at a Time.
I agree.
We covered a lot of ground today.
A lot of ground.
But it's been a good journey, from the highs of new games to the lows of industry challenges, and the bittersweetness of remembering a true legend.
And hopefully everyone listening found it insightful and engaging. So until next time, keep exploring, keep playing, and, most importantly, keep those controllers warm.
Great advice, and we'll see you all next time on One Game at a Time. You know, it's really amazing to see the power of a dedicated fan base, like with Ōkami.
It really is something else.
A game that wasn't a huge hit at launch, but still managed to grab the attention of so many players, and that passion, it brought us a sequel.
Yeah, it makes you think, how many other great games are out there just waiting to be rediscovered?
It's an exciting thought, but on a less exciting note, what's happening over at Starbreeze? It's pretty disheartening.
It is. You have this talented team working so hard, making sure Payday 3 launched smoothly on consoles, finding ways to save money, but it doesn't seem like their efforts are being recognized.
It really doesn't.
Those leaked messages and that Q&A document, they paint a clear picture of a disconnect between the developers making the games and the management calling the shots.
It makes you wonder, how can studios do better to support their dev teams and create a more collaborative environment?
It's a big question.
It is, and it ties into a bigger conversation happening in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
About crunch culture and the struggles developers face.
Absolutely.
Situations like this one at Starbreeze.
Yeah.
They really highlight how important transparency and communication are.
Exactly.
Developers need to feel heard.
And like their concerns are being taken seriously?
It ultimately benefited everyone.
Everyone.
Developers, publishers, and players. Speaking of benefiting from someone's hard work, it's impossible to ignore the impact Viktor Antonov had on the gaming world.
His passing, it's a huge loss.
His vision helped create some of the most memorable gaming experiences.
Like City 17 and Dunwall, worlds that felt real and fantastical at the same time.
It's amazing how he achieved that. And it wasn't just his talent, but his personality, too.
All those tributes from other developers, they show how much he was loved and respected.
A true visionary and a beloved member of the community.
His legacy will definitely live on.
Inspiring game developers for generations to come. It's amazing how one person can impact a whole industry.
Right, and it's a reminder that video games, they're more than just games, you know? They're like works of art, driven by passion and creativity.
Definitely. And speaking of passion, let's go back to Ubisoft for a sec. Their struggles, they raise some big questions about the future of big-budget games.
Oh, for sure.
Games are getting more expensive to make. And the old ways of selling them, they're being challenged by free-to-play games and subscriptions.
It's true. So publishers, they got to figure out a new plan.
Maybe we'll see fewer of those huge AAA games.
Maybe.
And more smaller experimental stuff.
It's possible.
Or maybe more games with live service elements.
Yeah, to keep the money coming in.
It could be a big change for the industry.
But, you know, sometimes limitations can lead to amazing new ideas.
That's a good point. And it's not just the big companies facing these challenges.
Right.
Indie developers are in the mix too.
They've always been great at innovating, pushing the boundaries, trying new things.
And now with platforms like Steam and itch.io, they're reaching more players than ever.
Exactly.
So even though there might be some bumps in the road, I think the future of gaming is still bright.
I agree.
We have passionate developers,
both big and small.
an amazing community of players.
And a medium that never stops changing.
And like Viktor Antonov showed us,
It's the artists, the storytellers, the visionaries. They're the ones shaking the world of gaming.
creating experiences that we'll remember for years.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for another episode of One Game at a Time.
It was fun.
We covered a lot today.
We did.
From exciting new games to industry challenges and saying goodbye to a true legend.
We hope you enjoyed our deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep playing those games.
And we'll see you on the next One Game at a Time.